Agents, you have 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Second, 2 out, Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series. Open, Chicago with the lead. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Under it, and to the middle with the 15, to the 20, breaks free of the 25, to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5, touchdown Bears!
Time in 6 seasons, it's one goal achieved. The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup. Right. A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it, throw to Rizzo. It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Listen, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait. There's more. While you're there, do us a favor. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning. Go to that page as well. Okay. Go to that page as well and like that also. That'd be appreciated. All right. Excellent. Now, if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, still, at this point, at this stage of the game, listen, go to YouTube. Type in Sports Zone Chicago. Click the subscribe button. Okay. And also there's a little bell right next to it. All right. Do us a favor. Click that button as well. That is the notification button. That'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. All right. If you're watching us on our mobile app, I like that kind of party, baby. What? You didn't know? You ain't even know? What? Come on, man. You should have been with us for a while now. All right. So wherever you get your apps from, okay? Wherever you get them from. All right. You download it. You take it with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Yeah, just go. You know? So here's what wherever you get it from, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy's, Montgomery Ward, Woolworth, wherever you get it from, just go there and download it. Wherever you get your apps from. I'll tell you where to get them from. All right, you get them where you want to get them from. Just go there and do it. Do it. And if you're watching us on our mobile app, if you're watching us on our Roku channel, now that's what I'm talking about. What? You ain't know? Sports Zone Chicago, we're now on Roku. We have our own, not now, we've been on there for over a year. We have our own Roku channel. Okay, so listen, wherever you get your apps, your Roku stuff from, whatever you download, make sure you download Sports Zone Chicago. All right, so download the tile, put it right next to Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Disney Plus, Peacock. I guess Peacock's the new popular one now. All right, Hulu, or I said Hulu, HBO Max, which is now Mac, Showtime Stars, put it right next to them. Put a smack dab in the middle right next to them, and it'll be greatly, greatly appreciated. All right, you can watch us on the big screen. Hell, we're on the big screen right now. And that is what I'm talking about. Catch your boy on the big screen. Now, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at SportsZoneShy. That's CHI at SportsZoneShy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me, Personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Well, here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the Snapper, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you're watching me on any of those platforms, you can see it at the bottom of the screen. All right. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Kai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. And if you want to follow her on Instagram because you're an IGer and you do it just for the gram, well, just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. I would be remiss. Let's see what's going on. So whatever platform you're watching us on, let's see what my peoples are doing today. Cornelius Squalls, what up? He's in the house. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. Here's my man, Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. He's in the house. And if he's in the house, that means Jeremiah and Armando Emeterio Lara the fourth are probably on one on each leg. Watching. That's awesome. Thanks for tuning in. I mean, Patty's not far behind. My man, Mashawn Walls, he's in the Mickey Ficky house. What up, Hump Day? It's my day off from CrossFit today. So let me tell you, I enjoyed it. I slept till like 6:30. Listen, when you get up at 4 and you get an extra 2.5 hours of sleep, shut up. Oh, man. Feeling good. Like LL Cool J said, I feel good. Woohoo, about candy. My girl, Monica. Mommy, how are you? Thank you. Thank you, mija. Hope all is well. And listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I will tell you this. More of the usual suspects will be tuning in as the show goes on. That, as my former students would say, on everything I love, G. On everything I love. That I know. Yes. Oh, my goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. Boy, whew, do we have an awesome show for you today. We have a lot. Oh, man. You talk about where do we go? All-Star game. Baseball, the Major League Baseball's All-Star game was yesterday. It was a much closer game, a surprising finish. Good. Very good. The home run derby was the day before, which was Monday. We had a lone representative from the White Sox in it. We had Cubs just were in the game, not the home run hitting derby. And then our lone representative gets hurt. If that isn't such a White Sox thing to do, I don't know what is. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the All-Star game. Two weeks from today, the Bears will be on the field for the first time. 2 weeks from yesterday is they report to camp. So 13 days from today, they report. Let me tell you, 14 days are practicing. I can't tell you how excited I am, how fired up I am. I can't, because I can't put it into words. So we're going to talk a little Bears. And then, wow, this whole Northwestern situation is out of control. Out of freaking control. If you've been living under the rock for the past 4 or 5 days, wow. Can I just tell you, I make a great cup of green tea. Can I just tell you that? My goodness. This is just freaking amazing. Sweetened just with just the right amount of honey. I throw some moringa in there for health benefits. Oh my goodness. I want to drink so much of that I'm bloated. I can't even move. That's how good that is. But I digress. This whole Northwestern situation, Pat Fitzgerald being fired, has been crazy. How it took off. How 72 hours Made a difference. Monica, I will, man, don't even play with me. I will head over there and make it for you, damn it. I will head over there and make it for you. Don't you dare me, young lady. 72 hours, how shit changed quick, fast, in a hurry. Wow. You know, it's interesting. It's very interesting. And what's funny is not funny. Let me take that back. What's also very interesting is I reached out to a few people yesterday and asked them, "Hey, I'd like, would you like to come on Sports Zone Chicago on my show on Sports Zone Chicago and talk about the Pat Fitzgerald situation?" All of them, in one way or another, it came down to basically the same thing. They all didn't want to come on. And that's cool. I respect it. No biggie. They were all very emotional about it. A lot of emotions dealing with it. And it was too personal for them because of their emotions that were wrapped up into it. Pat Fitzgerald was what everyone would consider one of the good guys. One of the reasons to continue loving college sports for being an amateur amateur section of sports. He was looked at as one of the good guys. And a lot of people were hurt. A lot of people are having a tough time dealing with it. I'm going to talk about that a little later. Fitz, for all intents and purposes, had a lifetime contract. He had a 10-year deal worth about $6 million a year. I think it was worth $57 million, if I'm not mistaken. But he would have signed another one when it was all said and done. He would have been there until he wanted to retire. And it's kind of left Northwestern reeling because who's going to want to take this job? I'm sure there's a lot of people because of the practice facilities. Northwestern right now, unofficially, owns the best practice facility in college football, better than any SEC school, Alabama, Tennessee, Florida, because it's the latest one built. So they looked at all the other ones that were built and said, okay, what do they have? Okay, we'll give all that they have and then some. And you're right on the lake. You're literally on the lake. So if you wanted to come outside, you come outside, you see the waves crashing. My man, Charles Edward Bingham McDavid Sr., he's in the house. Why are you yelling at me, dog? Why are you yelling at me? What'd I do? Why are you yelling, Charles? Oh, you just that happy to see the SuperBack. Hey, I ain't mad at you. I feel you. When I wake up in the morning, I get excited when I look in the mirror. I'm like, damn, the SuperBack is up. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I got jokes. I'm a funny guy. Good morning, Charles. I see you must have a day off today. It's a little rainy out there. Charles is like, I'm just loud. Hey, I ain't mad at you. I got a few friends like that who are just loud. Like, dude, chill out. Just loud. But that's what they are. They're loud. That's funny. Yeah, Junior, you're right. He had the old, you can say as long as you want, as long as you like, until you do something stupid. And we'll talk about this later. We'll talk about it later. What time am I going to talk Fitz? I think it's 10:30. I think I close out the show. Yeah, 10:30. We're going to talk Fitz at 10:30. And at times, Junior, Caesar's loud. At times. There's other times where he wants to be like Secret Squirrel. But yeah, Caesar's loud. Caesar's very animated. He's very animated, especially in his storytelling, which are great, by the way. Just as long as he doesn't waste the shrimp. That's an inside joke between me and Junior. We're going to talk about that Fitz thing because that hurt a lot of people. I think I'm one of them. I think I'm one of them. I'm definitely one of them that was hurt. Yeah. See, it's a different time, a different era. And I'm not going to get into how parents raise their kids now. Okay. All I'm going to say is that kids are a lot softer. Kids are a lot more sensitive. Kids are a lot more fragile. Physically and mentally, especially mentally. And it's so funny how you get people who say, "Well, there's no more real men. We want real men," and they talk about, but the way the kids are being raised, like the process of going from a boy to a man, is not a pretty process. That's why it can only be done by a man. Only men can teach boys how to be men. Single moms, we love you. I was raised by one, okay? But they can't teach you how to be a man. They can teach you how not to be a woman. You kind of got to figure it out, but you need good male role models around you. And so if some of these things that were going on, you knew someone was going to have to tell. You knew someone was going to be upset. You knew someone was going to feel that they were slighted. You knew someone was going to take exception to it, because nowadays it's okay to bitch and moan about things. And I'm not saying bitching that it was wrong that they bitched and moan. All I'm saying is that it's okay to bitch and moan about things because you don't like it, or it doesn't suit you, or even if it goes, even if it's going to cause, especially if it causes waves. All right. We're in such a shock era now where everybody wants to say what they want to say, when they want to say it, how they want to say it. No respect, no decorum, no nothing. All right. I have a cousin I think he's still alive. I haven't talked to him in a couple of years. But that was his whole shtick. He'd say things for shock value. So many of my friends didn't want to be around him after their first encounter with him. Not over a period of time, the first day meeting him. I met a girl in Miami. I told her she had just bought a new house in Key West. And I told him about it. And I was, I didn't think he's going to go say some stupid stuff to her. And he's like, "Oh, you must be balling. You got a house in Key West." I'm like, "Why would you say that? Like, that's between me and you." Then another friend, and a couple other friends, and he'd say things. So people do things for shock value now. All attention's on me, and then I don't know. Well, I just this is how I feel. To have something like that, if that was going down, which apparently it was, okay, it's got to be tapered down. Okay. Here's the thing. All of us who've played football, especially if you're of a certain age, we've all had some sort of hazing. Now, hazing can be simple and fun, entertaining, whether it's before the team meeting, you get up and you sing your high school's fight song. Something we had to do. Or maybe stand up in the cafeteria and sing your high school fight song during lunch or during dinner. Okay. Embarrassing. Yeah. Traumatizing. No. Okay. Carrying football pads, smelly, sweaty ass pads on a 95-degree day. I had to carry Willie Bradford, Joe Segretti, and Jerome Fuller, all Americans. And and they literally just took them off. Jerome would just take off his wet undershirt. There you go, rookie. Bring it in the locker room. Okay, fine. Traumatized? Not in the slightest. Okay. When it goes far, when we have people who don't know how to deal with it and it goes too far, I think that's what happened at Northwestern. And Fitz should have known about it. I think Fitz knew about most of it. I don't know about the dry humping thing. All right. I think that's just, I don't think he knew about that. That's for sure. Because I'll tell you what, any good coach would have said no. Had they known, I think he knew about a lot of it. But don't forget, he went there. He went to Northwestern. So he had his initiation. And the purpose for that, for those of you who don't understand, the purpose of that is there's a pecking order. Okay? Especially when we grew up, there's a pecking order. Seniors are at the top of that list. Juniors are second, sophomores are third, freshmen, you're on the bottom. A lot of it was because you had to understand the concept of team. And regardless of where you are, who you are, where you came from, okay, you had to understand that you weren't bigger than the team, because a lot of times people are bigger than the team from where they come from. And they want to carry that attitude there to the new place. It's not happening. Okay. So we'll talk more about it at 10:30. See, Junior. I remember when they wanted to haze me in college. I was not having it, and they knew I would give them a fight, so no one even tried. I sang on the bus, I went to the games, but nothing else. Yeah, you had to. You know what? You embarrass yourself in front of the team just to know that, hey, we've all done it. All right. It shows our vulnerability to the team, that we are part of them. Why? Because we've all done it. And embarrassing and traumatizing? No, not at all. Embarrassing could be. And if you wanted, it all depends on how you looked at it. If you wanted to act a fool, you went and acted a fool and you weren't embarrassed. It was fine. But I think they lost control. I think they lost control with some of the captains. I saw Corey Wooten the other day, and he was talking about it. And it's interesting. You have to understand football talk. I don't know if it was on his podcast or if it was on Fox. But he was very politically correct. I'll try and get it, and I'll find it and have Steve-O put that together for Friday. But what he said was, I'm not going to discredit anybody for saying that. He said their experience was their experience. My experience was my experience. Mine was different from theirs. So he's not going to discredit them, but so many other players from Northwestern have rushed to the aid, to the side, to the defense of Coach Fitz. Instead, it's bullshit. It's exaggerated. But Corey wouldn't say that. Corey said he's not going to. The politically correct answer. So I'm sure he saw, and maybe when he was a senior, maybe he was one of the guys who did some of the initiating or the quote unquote H word. You gotta listen to what people tell. Listen to what people tell you. Listen to how they tell you, and listen to what they don't tell you, because that'll tell you everything. That'll tell you everything. Maybe he's one of those guys. Like, I don't know. I can't speak. I don't know if he was. He wasn't. I don't know. But obviously he was there for 4 years or 5. I don't know if he's had the red shirt year. Let me check. And so he was around it. So it's just interesting. So like I said, it just went too far. Some of the captains and guys who led that thing let it go too far. All right, Fitz is a little complicit in as well. One of the guy in the report, the anonymous player said that Fitz would hold his hand over a person who made a mistake in practice, and they would haze him or something like that. Like, I don't know. It's a tough situation. So we're going to talk that at 10:30. We got baseball coming up next. We're going to talk a little baseball. Really. Talk a little Bears. Talk a little Bears. So listen, we're going to take a quick break. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
Yeah, hello. I'm really not sure if this is what you all do, but I really don't have anywhere else to turn.
Hi. I don't even know why I'm calling right now. I'm sorry. My thoughts are going a mile a minute.
My kids are out of state. My buddies from the Army are all gone now. I'm really alone.
I left the service last year. My mom just passed away a few months ago. I miss so much time with her. I keep getting calls about the bills, and I'm trying to get a job, but I feel so stuck.
Okay, ma'am. I'm glad you called.
Okay, sir. Let's stay on the line and walk through some things.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Allen stands in, throws far side, intercepted, picked off by Kyler Gordon. Gorlin up the sideline, still on his feet, coming back across, and now down at about the 35-yard line. Lost the ball. Allen one on the boundary. He looks left. Now he's going to run it out and get creamed at the 2.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of CBS. I hit the wrong button. God bless it. I hit the wrong button. Like, I needed the All-Star break clip. We'll have the All-Star clip on the next commercial break. I was like, you know why? Because I was thinking, I had the Bears on my mind for a reason. It was a reason. I was thinking about the Bears right now for a specific reason. And yeah. And when I hit it, and I was like, oh, wrong clip. Oh my goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Charles says, not to change the subject, but you said download Sports Zone Chicago on all the Rokus in the house, even if other people in the house don't watch. There are 4 other Roku devices in the house beside mine. I'll be downloading sports. Oh, no way, dude. Thank you very much, Charles. I appreciate it, big dog. I appreciate it greatly. Yeah, if you have Roku, if you have a couple different Roku TVs, just download Sports Zone Chicago's tile to all of them. It just helps our numbers. All right, it helps our numbers, and we would greatly appreciate it. Charles, thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Brandon in the house. Good morning, Papa. Good morning. It is Hump Day. I am well. I am doing well. What's Cornelius talking about? Okay. They're having their own Shawn and Cornelius are having their own conversation in the thread. That's part of me. Part of me. Don't let me interrupt. Oh, that's funny. Funny. But this baseball game yesterday, pretty fun, pretty exciting. National League won for the first time in 11 years? First time since 10 years, 2013. It was good. All right, big homer at the end. How did I do that? I said, thank you. Just help me make dinner in the slow cooker. I would really be interested to see how that happened. Okay, but I digress. I digress. Yeah, so let's see. So Brandon, what's up, Papa? You said I had a bad day with the American League, who has had to read, and I had the lead, and I got frustrated. Yeah, it was the first time in like I said, I was trying to find it was like 11, 12 years since when they last won it. So it was a surprise. I mean, I guess it was gonna have to change anyway. I mean, the American League couldn't win the next 50 or the rest of you just had to take your chances. All right. And actually, according to Major League Baseball yesterday, Rob Manfred, and there are a couple of things that Rob Manfred stated. And this was interesting. He says that the Cubs could in Wrigley Field could hold the All-Star game at 25 or 27. How cool would that be? How cool would that be? If you're a Cub fan, you've got to be happy. You got to be over the world right now. And I would be too if I was a Cub fan. Hell, when it was the White Sox have hosted it 3 times. So the first All-Star game was 1933 at Comiskey. Okay. At Comiskey Park. Then I don't think they were back until 1983. So for all you Sox fans, or even for you baseball fans, if you ever see when the Sox wear their Sunday uniforms, all right, the winning ugly jerseys, all right, that season in 1983, they won the division. They were saying they were winning ugly. That was their slogan, with the red thing across the Sox. Okay, if you look on the right sleeve, there's a patch, and on that patch it says 50th All-Star Game, because in '83 the All-Star Game was here in Chicago. Okay. That was the first time someone had given up a home run. I'm sorry, dummy. A grand slam in the All-Star Game. All right. It was Atlee Hammaker who gave it up to, was it Clark? History. Who's son of a biscuit? Who was Fred Lynn? There you go. There's only been one grand slam in the '86 All-Star Games by Fred Lynn, and it was off of Atlee Hammaker. No, it doesn't say it here, but I remember he was, the California Angels. So, and then the White Sox had it again in 2000, and right after 2000, right around the turn of the century. But Rob Manfred said that the Cubs in Wrigley Field could host. They're one of the venues that is being looked at. That would be cool. Again, that would be cool. No, I mean, yes, I'm not a Cub fan by any stretch, just still. The Cubs actually had it in 1990. That was the last time I believe. Let me double check. So the White Sox were in 1933, 1983, and 2003. See, yeah. So 1990. I'm telling you, I have to write a book. My life has been so filled with fun stories. I am grateful for the life I've had. So in 1990, I was just getting done with my freshman year of college. I graduated high school in '89, went to in the fall of '89, scored a touchdown on national TV on ESPN as a freshman at Holy Cross in the fall of '89. So obviously went into the spring of '90. So that summer I come home, and one of my buddies, Marcus Duckworth, went to Freedom High School. Actually, he's the one who went to high school with The Rock. He's a year older than The Rock. We're a year older than The Rock. So he played football with The Rock in high school. Crazy, crazy story. So his parents worked for Continental Airlines. So if you look at is it United now? Like their logo, like the grid, that was Continental Airlines logo. And when they were bought out by American, they still use that logo. But I digress. His dad worked for Continental. So he was able to fly all over the country, fly basically for free, just for taxes or whatever. So he came out to visit. In 1990, the Cubs had the All-Star Game at Wrigley. So we go the day before for the home run hitting contest and all the other stuff. We didn't stay for that, but we stayed. I don't know why. But my cousin Stefan was in town from California. So we're in the left field bleachers. And Chris Sabo, S-A-B-O, Chris Sabo, I want to say he was a third baseman for the Cincinnati Reds, was up during batting practice, hits a home run. Now we get up into the left field bleachers. It's different now. It looks different now than it was back in the 90s. But the chain link fence was there, It's coming. It goes over my head. I was like the second row from the back, maybe the third row. I think maybe the third. Hits the fence and falls. And I'm like, all right. Now, mind you, I'm in top shape. My guy Marcus if you think I got big shoulders, Marcus had huge shoulders. Oh, he was a monster. He was a honorable mention high school All-American at Freedom High School. Ball falls down. I'm like, yeah, there's too many people. I don't feel like fighting. This is a ball. Chris Sable's not my favorite guy. It's just to me, it was a baseball. I was at Wrigley Field. I didn't really care. I wasn't going crazy. The ball squirts out toward me. So squirts out toward me, and I see it. Another guy sees it, and we look at each other like, oh, snap, it's me and you. Because we're the only ones who really see it. We both go down to get it. I give him a forearm. We're going down. I reach with my left hand. I give him a forearm shiver with my right arm, hold him off, grab the ball. I'm like, yeah. Guy's like, hey. So he's mad. And all of a sudden, my guy Marcus, who back then, loved to take off his shirt. And I would have too. I get it. He's like, no, it's not. It's his. The guy kind of backed down like, all right, fine. So the Cubs had it in 1990. That was my crazy story from 1990. But so the Cubs have a chance to host it in 2025 or 2027. Good luck to Cub fans. And, if you get it again, it'll be dope. The Ricketts have redone Wrigleyville. All right. They have the hotel. Whew, man. You know how much they're going to be able to sell hotel rooms for those 4 days? The weekend prior, because it's always during the week. The weekend prior, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, because some people stay till Thursday. A lot of people stay till Wednesday. The prices in that hotel is going to be insane. The bars are going to be raking in the dough. Good luck, guys. Hope you get it. Also, Manfred said, this is a tough one. He says that Pete Rose will not be inducted into Baseball Hall of Fame because he says he broke rule number 1. Lifetime ban. His ban will continue. It started because now that baseball is involved with sports betting, FanDuel, DraftKings, all that other stuff, people say, okay, well, now you can bet on games, blah, 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 blah. Rob Manfred said he will not be allowed. That sucks. Charlie Hustle. Nobody plays a game like he does anymore. This dude, if you remember I forgot what year the All-Star was, it 67, 69, where he ran over the catcher at home plate in the All-Star game. Okay, by today's standards, it's a bit much. But the way he played the game was on 100% all the time. Which, if you're a pro athlete, you should. You should. It is a game, a childhood game that you get paid millions and millions of dollars to play. But I digress. It sucks for Pete Rose, the all-time hits leader. I mean, he is in the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame, which is great, but he deserves to be. He has the most hits in professional baseball. Come on, man. It's just everything over time. Time should heal all wounds. All right. He was banned for how many years now? Since 89. He retired. Shit. years. Come on, man. I think it's time to, or unless part of me thinks that what they're going to do is wait until he passes and then induct him posthumously, which would really suck. It'd be okay for his family members to see him not vindicated, but see him get in where he truly, truly belongs. But maybe they just don't want him to experience that. I don't know. I think it's kind of shady, but what are you going to do? I mean, Pete, you made your bet, Papa. You got a line in it. It sucks. I know it sucks. You shouldn't have done it, and you're feeling the wrath of it. Years, decades later, you're feeling the wrath of this, and it's unfortunate. But going into the second half of the season, now we're looking at some stuff for both teams. I'm like, okay, let's see what the future holds for my White Sox and Cubs. Well, my White Sox and the Cubs. I think the White Sox should be sellers. The White Sox are in an interesting position. Very interesting position because according to some sources, the Texas Rangers are strongly, strongly interested in Lance Lynn. They're interested in him. He's been pitching very well, which is awesome. Obviously, according to Jason from What's Up Cuz, he's happy that he's pitching well so you can get more for him, but the asking price for him is going to be pretty high. Because if you put this guy as a fourth or fifth in your rotation, hell, even a third, with the way he's pitching this year, man, that is a nice, nice addition to your starting rotation if you are looking to make a push in the playoffs. According to sources, the only untouchables for the White Sox are Dylan, Lewis Robert, and Andrew Vaughn. TA is available, but I don't know how many people are going to want a TA. Because of his all-star appearances, because of his 300 batting average the last 3 seasons, the price on him will be pretty nice, pretty steep as well. It won't be as steep as it could be because of the fact that he's having a down year. So some teams may try and swoop in and say, hey, he's having a down year. They may try to undercut what they offer. Like, hey, we'll just give you this. But no one's traded for Yohan Moncada, that's for sure. So Yohan Moncada kind of has a stay of execution. All right. There's a situation with Yohan. Okay. He's got to get healthy first. He's not hitting as well as he should be. And Jake Berger is exciting, electric. You lose some of the defensive security at third base. But as of this year, you are gaining a lot on the offensive side with Jake Berger. So they're going to ask themselves, you want him? First of all, who wants Yo-Yo? He's got his contract, his long contract. I don't know if people want to pay him that. If they're going to want to trade for that. Because that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for a guy who is not performing very well at all. I mean, he's going to 2025, so he doesn't have very much left. Was it 2 years? Let me double check. I'm just checking. So he's got 1 year left. So this year he's at 17 mil. Next year he's at 24 mil. And then 25, which the club doesn't want to get to, is a club option for 25 million. See, so they signed him at 20. So for 21, he made 6 million. 22, he made 13 million. This year he's making 17 million. Next year he's going to be making 24 million. Look at that. That's what, 30, 40, 57, 60. Jesus. 10, 20, 2, 3, 4. That's $60 million. His base salary in 20 was $161 million. I think they also paid, no, they paid Boston, was it? So he's made about a little over 61 million. If the club picks him up, it'll be 85 million. But who wants to pay Yohan Moncada or pay his, pretty much around half of his salary for the rest of the season when he's not performing? Who's going to want to pay him 24 million next year when he hasn't performed? So he looks like he kind of has a stay of execution here because no one wants him. But where do you play him? Do you keep him at third because his defense is so much better than Jake Berger's? Or do you not keep him at third and move him somewhere else because Jake's bat is much better than Yohan's? Do you move him to DH? But that's Eloy's spot. Or do you move Eloy to right field? But then that's Oscar Colas' spot. Can't move him to left. That's Benintendi. If we re-sign him, you can't move him to center. That's La Pantera. You're going to move him back to second? What about Romy Gonzalez? You want him developing? If TA gets traded or moved, okay, then maybe you move him to shortstop. Back to his position, natural position. But he's got to stay of execution. He has to make the most of it. Lucas Giolito, it was reported on Twitter. He's having all types of problems. It was reported on Twitter that let me just double check it. Where did it come? Because I don't want to, some of you guys would be like, wait a minute, wait. So I just want to confirm. So allegedly, hold on, did Jason put it? There's a little bit going on with, okay, from Fox News. On Fox News, so take it with a grain of salt. Published July 11th, yesterday. White Sox all-star pitcher Lucas Giolito and his wife filed for divorce after 4 years of marriage. The couple exchanged vows in December of 2018. So he's got a lot on his plate. And during the decision, they made the announcement in a lengthy Instagram post during the Home Run Derby the other day on Monday. It says, Ariana and I have made the difficult but mutual decision to amicably end our marriage. We have shared many memorable moments and experiences together and want to emphasize our continued respect for one another, unquote. Unquote. After thoughtful consideration and discussions, we have chosen to follow separate paths while maintaining the bond we have nurtured over the years. While our decision to end our marriage is undoubtedly a significant one, we're each committed to maintaining our friendship and supporting each other as we enter this new phase of our respective lives. So he's got a lot on his plate. And I don't care what you say, that affects, we see how personal issues are affecting Tim Anderson. We see it. But it seems like Lucas, mind you, this didn't happen in a day last week. Lucas has been pitching well. And maybe, remember when I told you guys, I said a lot of times when players are going through a crisis, a situation, a scandal, they turn inward toward their work. Okay? AKA Kobe. AKA Patrick Kane. We could go on and on. All the people who are going through something, aka Ray Lewis, all right, who are going through something with the law, through personal issues, whatever, and they turn inward and literally focus on their sport, their career, their job, to kind of help them get away from the stress that they're dealing with this other situation. So maybe that's what Lucas is doing. It didn't say they had kids. I haven't heard of kids that they had kids. So it'll be a lot easier for Lucas. He doesn't have to pay child support. He'll probably have to pay alimony, but he doesn't have to pay child support. Who's this? You said they tell Fox Sports or Fox he's going to be a dad. What? They tell Fox? I'm not sure what you mean there, Brandon. But the Sox should be sellers. The Sox should be sellers. But who are they going to who wants any of the Sox players? You know what's really funny? Say 3 people go. Say you get Lucas gone. Say you get Lance Lynn gone. Say you get one of the relievers gone. Hell, even say you get TA gone. The problem is you have the fact that you have so many players that people would want, and you're still 16 games under 500. So many players that people will pluck to help them in their playoff push, and you are still 16 games under 500. How in the blue hell does that happen? Well, I'll tell you how it happens. You get a underperforming veteran team who with no leadership. You get a rookie manager who can't control them, who has no gravitas, who has no respect in that locker room. You have a front office who doesn't support their manager. Managers are only worth a couple of wins, so it doesn't really matter. The front office people are the golden boys, but they're not the ones coaching these players. They're not the one demanding all these things these players do. Then you have guys who are given big-time contracts before they've proven themselves, and now they think they're the shit, and they stop trying, in my opinion. Their desire is gone. They are financially set. I just told you, $60 million. Uncle Sam, $30 million, say $20, $25 million. You know how much, how long or what kind of life you can live with $25 million? And I know Yo-Yo likes to stay in Miami, so it might not be as much as you think. However, come on, man. There's a lot when you're talking guys who coming from third world countries, communist countries where they don't have shit, everything's rationed out. And now he's got gross $25 million. Come on now. It's unfortunate that, in my opinion, a lot of those guys who signed him, Eloy, Lubob, Yo-Yo, they've lost their edge. They've lost the desire to be great. They got what they came for, and that's their money. And the desire to be good, once you got your money, falls to the wayside. Cubs, on the other hand, are they going to be buyers or sellers? I don't know. You can't give off Benintendi unless someone gives you a crazy deal. My idea for the Cubs is you re-sign that joker as soon as possible. You start talks now. And the people on Benintendi, Bellinger. You keep Bellinger. You sign him. Try and sign him now, because Bellinger's people are gonna be like, no, we're gonna wait. We're going to wait. As he should, but the Cubs got to start trying. Because Bellinger has been a pleasant surprise. I told you guys that this guy's going to have a great year. I told you he's going to be exciting. I told you when I first saw him in spring training, I'm like, this guy's swing looks pretty damn good. Back to his MVP World Series days, good. And it has been. But who else do you trade? Not Dansby Swanson. You just signed him. Ian Happ. Ian Happ's throwing people out at the plate every other day. Chris Morel. Dude, he's a piece I think you got to keep because of his versatility. The Professor. That's your last link to Ian Happ, I guess, but your last link to the World Series. What players are going to be coveted by other teams that are on the Cubs? Or do you become buyers? I'm not sure what the Cubs are going to do, and it's going to be interesting to find out because if they're buyers, they're telling you that we still think we got a chance to make the playoffs. Playoffs? I mean, the Cubs right now, they're what? 6? They're still 7 games back. It's still a stretch. It's still a stretch, but they're only 7 games out. All the White Sox have fallen to 4th in the division. They're 8 games out. That's crazy. You know, Justin Steele looks like he's going to be a part of this team. He's making a strong case for being a part of this team. All-star selection. Solid performances day in and day out. Your pitching staff is looking good, Cubs. And if only you can get Jameson Taillon to earn his keep. You'd have the Stroh Show. You'd have the Professor, who's pitching very well. You'd have Justin Steele. And you'd have Davidson Taillon. That would be one hell of a rotation. He's got to get Taillon on board. So don't be surprised if the Cubs are buyers. Don't be surprised. Do not be surprised because you're going to run quick because the Cubs open up at home against Boston this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then Washington comes to town on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Cubs could go on a nice little run. I don't know about Boston. Where's Boston? Oh yeah, Boston's 48 and 43. They're still over 500. They're still better than the Cubs. I wouldn't be surprised if they're buyers. I don't know. But listen, let's take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we have more sports conversation. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Off the fake. Fields against the grain. Finds Jesse James. Field. With time. Delivers down the field. Fake one way. Fields stumbling. Trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Everybody in a work zone is someone somebody.
This is my mom. She works for KDOT.
This is my dad.
This is my mom.
This is my daddy.
This is my sister.
This is my daddy.
This is my son, Scott. He was killed while working in a highway work zone. When you drive through a work zone, drive like a life depends on it. Because it does.
Order up. When I want to give up, I try to focus on getting to the next minute, then the next hour, and the next day.
It might not seem like it right now, but there are people out there like me who want to listen and support you for the long haul.
And I found someone to talk to, someone who listened.
You are not alone.
Hey, this is Dr. J, and I listen to Shawn and Maya in the morning.
Acuna Jr. to lead things off for the National League. Here's an opposite field fly ball deep to the track, and a leaping grab made by Garcia. Highlight play to begin the All-Star game. In his first All-Star at bat. His chance to give him the lead. He's got some power. 2-2 to Diaz. Is hit in the air to deep left field. Back it goes. Elias Diaz puts the National League in front. At 32 years old in his All-Star debut, a go-ahead home run. This one gone. Red Rooker at the plate. There's a check for the third. Riley from his knees, a double play.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Fox. That was the All-Star game yesterday. It's a good one, baby. It was a good one. I was very impressed. It was exciting. First time the National League has won in over a decade. Yeah, let me tell you, it was, especially if you're a National League person. I'm going to say guy. If you're a National League person, you know what I mean? I get it. That'd be dope. That's cool for you because it's been a while. Come on, dude. You're acting crazy. You know what was really, really cool in watching the whole thing? All the Latinos. You know, baseball has become that just a melting pot of Latinos. All right. It's good for Latinos. However, for other communities, it's a little bothersome. Okay, a little bothersome. You know, they've made what they've done to baseball is, I don't say criminal. They've made it inaccessible to a lot of people. Okay, I don't want to take it down that path. But they made it extremely inaccessible. What they've done is they've made it like hockey. Okay? They've made it like hockey where you have to, in basketball, even basketball is tough. Basketball is a little easier. Travel squads. You got to have this travel teams. You got to be on a travel team. You got to be on a travel team. You got to be on a travel team. It's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. For every travel team, you're looking at $1,500, $2,000 minimum. I remember my cousin Marlo, her boys out in South Elgin. One of them's in college. The other one is doing well working Forgot where he's working. Just got himself a nice little brand new whip. Beautiful. But anyway, they put them both on travel squads. And this was years ago, and back then it was $2,500. A kid. So it's difficult to imagine some of the less financially able players or families to send their children to these travel squads to get them better, to play all-star teams, to increase the exposure of good talent. And not saying that the kids can't compete, but their kids aren't playing against this talent on a consistent. To me, that's bothersome. That really sucks. What they're doing with baseball. It really does. But I digress. What am I supposed to be talking at this? Let me double check. So sometimes I get off on a tangent. Oh, Bears. That's a Bears talk. Yeah. I was looking. There was an article by Fansided. Did I send it to myself? So what I'll do, just let you know, I'll send articles of myself. I see something. Oh, let me see this. Okay. Even if I don't use it. No, I didn't. Oh, that's surprising. One of the places I saw, it said there was a couple of different four different players that the Bears should still go after. One of them is Kenny Golladay, who's still a free agent, St. Rita product, Northern Illinois alum. Remember, he was with the Detroit Lions for a while, and then he was with the New York Giants for 2 years, I believe. Signed a big contract with the Giants and never really took off. He was injured a lot over there with them. He's still on the market, and yeah. Then they had a left guard. Young man out of Pittsburgh. And they said just to push Tevin Jenkins. Okay, I get that. That's cool. And then, not obviously, but Ngakoue. I still think, and I hope that this, I'm telling you, I'm waiting for that signing. I'm waiting for that signing to come across the wire saying, hey, the Bears have signed Ngakoue from the Colts, a free agent who played with the Colts for their edge rusher. That would be huge. Huge. I'm waiting about it. Oh, here you go. Tell me about it. I'm so glad Mondo was good enough that coaches waived the fee to have him on their team. Yeah, I remember. Dude, I remember that. He was on like all kinds of travel squads. And you know what? It's not just that he was good, because there are a lot of other kids that were good. It's the fact that Mondo was such a great kid. Well, he's still a great young man, but he was such a great kid. And that speaks volumes to the way you and Patty raised him. Okay, because the waiver fees, the waive $2,500. I'm sure it was right around that much, Junior. I'm sure it was. On all the teams that he played on every single summer, to have all the coaches waive that fee. He wasn't just a good player. Okay, he was a great kid. So hats off to you and Patty. You know, I'm being a little biased because obviously I've known Mondo and Monica since before they were born. but you see them, and they just are. They just are. So, you're one of the last parents to raise kids right. Where people just absolutely love your kids. So, but yeah, it was a good thing because it cost a lot of money. But I digress. 2 weeks from today, the Bears get on the field, I believe, for the first time. They report 2 weeks from yesterday, in 13 days. And I'm waiting for this signing. I'm waiting for a signing. I'm not sure about that article on Fanside. I'm not sure about it. Tevin Jenkins, okay, cool. They wanted to bring in, I can't remember. I was trying to find it. The name of the guard that they wanted to bring in. Okay. But again, you could never really have too much depth at offensive guard. But I'll tell you what, I am okay with it. All right, I'm okay with it. Here's why. Tevin Jenkins has had issues with his back. That's one place I don't really want to. I would hate for that to happen, for something to happen to him and not be ready. But then again, you got Tyree Carter. You got a couple of other guys that can fit, that you could put in case. There you go. In case something happens. All right. NFL means not for long. So I'm okay with it. I'm okay if you bring them in. That's cool. That's cool. Nope, it's not it. No, 5 foot could have. Nope. I was trying to find that article, and I can't get it. But what excites me a lot is once the pads come on, now you're gonna be able to see a lot of people in their element. Now you're gonna be able to see a lot of people do what they do live. You can't see how well Roschon Johnson runs and bounces off people or runs over people. You can't see that. You can't see how well these guys move together in combo block on this offensive line. You can't. There's no pads. It's going to open up, and that's football. All right, people get caught up. See, Jerry Glanville. Remember, he was not a big fan of the combine. He was like, you got guys running around in shorts. You're not getting hit. There's no pressure. You're just throwing the receivers. All right, you're running drills. Football is not drills. Football is game. Football is, all right, you tweaked your ankle, or you tweaked this, but you still have to play because you're the best person for that thing. It doesn't measure heart. See, the NFL has done a phenomenal job of monetizing everything. And the NFL knows it. I know some guys can increase their draft stock, but it doesn't mean they're going to be a better football player. Doesn't mean they're going to be great. Doesn't mean they're going to be a Hall of Famer or a Pro Bowler. It just means they improve their stock. It means they make a little more money. How many people have jumped up the draft boards and then really weren't really that good? Why? Because he had phenomenal numbers. Because he's such an athlete. Because he jumped. Remember, who's the guy? Bear fans, help me, because it just came to me. Who was the guy who jumped out of the pool that the Bears drafted? Remember, everyone's making a big deal that he jumped out of the pool onto the ground. It was an in-ground pool. He jumped out of the pool. Like, oh my God. What the fuck does that have to do with football? What does that have to do with football? But people say, oh, wow, it shows what a great athlete he is. This is okay, great. I've known a lot of great athletes who weren't good football players. I've known a lot of great athletes who weren't good baseball players. I know a lot of good athletes who weren't good basketball players. They can just run and jump fast, jump high. But it doesn't mean you're good in the game. It doesn't mean you're going to be a stud. It doesn't. But they do all this because NFL monetizes it. They have the draft. I mean, the combine down in Indy all the time. It helps, obviously, the economy in Indianapolis. All right, they take over the RCA Dome, is it? And the surrounding areas, and people go down there, spend money, and they go down to see. I want us to talk about this guy. I want to talk about that guy. I want to be the first to say this. I want to be the first to say that. But what does that mean? Oh, he did 225 25 times. He's going to be a great football player. No, it just means he's able to lift 225 25 times. Doesn't mean he's going to be a great football player. So when people sit there and say, oh, did you see his numbers? No. I'd rather see his tape. I'd rather see the film. Let me watch you on film. Let me watch you on film. I don't give a damn how fast you run in shorts on a track. Does that speed transfer to the field? Only way I can tell is to watch game film. That's the only way I can tell if that transfers. Do you remember, guys, in the interviews last year and this year, I asked Herb Howard from the Bigs. Big shout out to Herb. And I asked Zach Pearson from Bear Report. Big shout out to Zach. My boots on the ground. I said, when you were at Hallis Hall last year, I said, Valus Jones, did you see that speed? Can you tell this dude's got another gear? Herb Howard, Zach Pearson, both said, oh, yeah. You can tell he's got another gear. Okay, great. That's what I need to see. This year with Tyler Scott, Herb Howard, Zach Pearson, can you see that speed? Oh, hell yeah, you can see that speed. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. But don't tell me you run a 4.3, but I don't see you pulling away from people. All the highlights we saw of Tyler Scott, he's running away from people. He's behind the defense. That's got me exciting. That's got me excited. Did I say exciting? Got me exciting? That's got me excited. Because he has breakaway or big play speed, game-breaking speed. He makes game-breaking play. When you're a big playmaker, it doesn't stop. Wherever you go, you're going to make big plays. That's your MO. It just is. Which is why I'm excited about Tyler Scott. Big time. If he only makes 5 big plays for us this year, we won that pick. If he only, and they don't even have to be touchdowns. It could be a key third down, 3rd and 8. He catches a crossing pattern, goes 40. Pushed out, big play. Only reason he got put, safety came down, who's over the top and to stop him. Otherwise, it was a house call. A big touchdown where he just outruns. They see it. They're in man free. He runs up the seam, right past the linebacker, right past the nickel. He doesn't have to have 14, 15, 20 big play. Give me 5 40-yard plays or more. 5. Sprinkle them out through the season. Week 3, week 8, week 12, week 16, week 17. Don't get me wrong, I don't want just those plays. I want a lot of 10, 15-yard plays. He gets it and it goes 8 on 3rd and 6. I want those plays. Don't get me wrong. But I only need 4 or 5 40-plus yard plays from Tyler Scott this year. With everyone else, all the other weapons. Now, if he gives us more, holy shit. That's what I'm talking about. But just give me 5. Sprinkle them around the season. I'm a Nomad in the Mickey Ficky house. Good morning, Papa. How are you? Thanks for tuning in, baby. I agree. Speed, power, big playability. I'm telling you, if they get an edge rusher, not a Hall of Famer, not a first-team All-Pro, just an edge rusher, Ngakoue, just for shits and giggles, they sign him. Their offseason is complete. They would have addressed every single issue. Now, they would have upgraded every single position. Now, just because they didn't get a generational or staple 3-tech doesn't mean they didn't upgrade. And mind you, from where we're starting from last year, anything is an upgrade. So what positions have they not upgraded? What positions have they not addressed? Now, there's certain certain positions you want at a higher level than other positions, aka the 3-tech, aka edge rusher. But the fact that you upgraded from what you had before is the first step. So, yes, it might not be filled. They might not have all the players that they wanted, but they have all the players that they needed. They upgraded at every position. We've talked about it. Nomad, you talk about timing. What about Terrell Lewis? What about this kid? What if this guy gives us 6 sacks this year? 5 or 6 sacks. How huge is that? It's not just going to be 5 or 6, but when do those sacks come? Is it down the stretch, 3rd and 9? They're trying to go down for the lead, and you get a sack, 3rd and 9, to get them off the field. That's a huge sack. Do one of the rookies, on a stunt come through? I don't need, and I'd like, but I don't need anyone to get 12 to 15 sacks. No, not with this unit. Give me 3 or 4 or 5 sacks across the board from people, and I'll be happy. Yes, solid. Yes, solid. I agree. 3-edge solid. Okay, not super, not Hall of Fame material. No, solid. But you can go get that next year. But they've upgraded, and that's what people keep forgetting. They've upgraded. And I'm telling you, I'm waiting for that move. I'm waiting for the the Bears signed Ngakoue. I'm waiting for it. I remember when Daryl, our head coach of the Chargers, brought in that guy Max, who was on the Ohio Cannons with Daryl to beat you out, and he didn't know how to read the holes. He thought he was a cutback runner and wouldn't run. I remember that. Oh man, that's funny, Junior. Good stuff. Good stuff. But this team is upgraded. And so when you hear people say, well, they still need help here. They still need help here. Well, no shit, Sherlock. You name me one team, including the Kansas City Chiefs, that has every position with all pros, has every position with gold jacket wearers. It's not about we got the best guy out there. It's about, can this guy play well with a unit, especially if you're talking offensive line. Cornelius, you made a great point. There's questions about Jalen Carter's motor, but there are no questions about Javon Dexter's motor, that's for sure. I don't think there'll be questions about Jalen Carter because of where he went. Remember the little spiel I went on with Jalen Carter being in Philly? Being in Philly might be the best thing for him. He's got former teammates. He's got alpha males to grab him by the collar quick and be like, listen, homie, this is how we do it over here. That's how we do it over here. He's got to the Super Bowl last year without you. Okay? You're not going to come in here and think you're God's gift to the world. We got to the Super Bowl without you. You're going to do it our way. But you're damn right. There's no question about his motor. Javon Dexter's motor, Zach Pickens' motor. Zach Pickens came out and told you. He's like, man, I haven't even started. He goes, I had 45 different coaches in my 3-4 years here. I never got comfortable in the system. Watch. He told us on IG, he told us. These guys are going to be clogging up the middle and putting pressure up the middle. All right, Ngakoue, stop playing around. 2 weeks to training camp. Sign it. Start working out with your people. Here. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, when you get back from vacation with the family, which I hope you're still working out while you're over there. All right, then sign that. Okay? Just come on. Walker, Ngakoue, Terrell Lewis, Travis Gibson. Nice little rotation. An upgraded rotation from last year. Upgraded rotation. That works in conjunction with a much better secondary. A secondary that has its basis, its base underneath them, its feet underneath them. Jaquan Brisker is comfortable now. We know Jalen Johnson is. Kyler Gordon's comfortable now. Just kind of going to work in Tyreek Stevenson. Eddie Jackson should be ready back to go again, who was playing at a high level before he got hurt. And you got an upgraded pass rush? Oh, yeah. Short field for Justin Fields and all those weapons? Oh, yeah. Short field for those. The Bears just go on a 12-play drive, intercept the third play, second play, and defense got to go back on the field. Guess what? Run the ball down their throat. Right down their freaking throat. Right down their throat. Khalil Herbert, Dante Foreman, Roshan Johnson, all three of those guys taking turns, pounding them in the mouth, punching them in the face. Because the running game those are body blows. When you get a team that's tired and a sudden change, you got to go back on the field. Those where you go body, head, boom, boom, boom. Those are the knockout punches. Those are the knockout punches. You start running. They can't stop it. Oh, snap. You have to do everything in your power to stop the run. And if that you know what that means? That means an extra safety down. Oh, snap. Double cover DJ Moore. And if you do try and double cover him with the only safety you might have left, guess what? That leaves everybody else open or one-on-one. This defense is going to be good. This team is going to be much better. Not Super Bowl contender. No. Not Super Bowl contender at all. They will be a solid team that I think the ceiling, if everything goes well, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll double down on it. The ceiling, if everything goes well for this Bears team, health included, is they can get to the NFC Championship game. That's the ceiling. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, they lose in the divisional round. In order to before they get to the NFC Championship game, they lose there. I think that's a great season for them. They get to the NFC Championship game. Holy shit. At that point, it's really one game. And anything can happen, injuries, and the Bears could end up going to the Super Bowl, but I'm not putting them there. I'm saying their ceiling, if everything goes well, without injuries to another team, is the NFC Championship game, but most likely the divisional round. We got Cornelius. Yeah, they're going to surprise a lot of teams. Yeah, they are. I'm telling you, Javon Dexter, the more and more I just kind of watch film of him and I'll check highlights. He was just asked to do something different. And when he had a chance to do what the Bears were asking him to do, wow. He was still always in the backfield, wrapping up running backs. Man, that's going to be fun. It's going to be real fun. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, as are you. I know you guys are as well. Listen, let's take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to talk this Pat Fitzgerald thing. Oof. So, man, sit back, relax, and strap it down because it's going to be interesting. All right? So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
At a time when the news seems as subjective as the partisan politics dividing this country, independent professional journalism has become a resource people need to get the honest and accurate information for their lives. That's why I created JQuickReports.com. As a born and raised Chicagoan, I know this city better than anyone. So my investigative stories are all original, and they'll go deeper to expose the truth by using information obtained from public information databases and in-depth interviews with the movers and shakers. My future stories will introduce you to people and businesses who are changing the world, not just Chicago. My missing person stories will spotlight those who you don't hear about in the mainstream media who are often overlooked. If you want to hear my personal views on things around the world, check out my blog site, which is based off of factual information on my life experiences. There's also past episodes of my weekly sports podcast show, What's Up Cuz, that I host with my real-life cousin, Lance Urban. So if you're looking for all this information and more, check out jcoinreports.com and follow me on Twitter at jcoin.
Every day we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
An amazing field of 8 competing for the 2023 T-Mobile Home Run Championship. Rutschman will now take a seat, and the sellout crowd will welcome Luis Robert.
Again, you see the exit velocities, the launch angles. Look at that one right now. 29-degree launch angle. That ball is hit far and deep.
470 feet. Now they're taking off like airplanes here. They are going out in a hurry. He may not even need his bonus. It is a show, and it's certainly going to be the end of the night for Adley Rutschman, who's just in shock. Like, wait a minute. One more home run for Luis Robert, and he will advance. Say goodbye to Adley Rutschman.
There it is.
And there it is.
Luis Robert into Edgar's Landing. He has won this quarterfinal matchup.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning at Sports Zone Chicago. Whew. Again, those clips courtesy of Fox. That was our guy, Luis Robert, got hurt. Son of a biscuit. Oh. But I digress. I digress. This Pat Fitzgerald situation has really, really taken a crazy turn. Okay. And it's a situation where I can speak on it from a former player and a former coach. Not just a year coach. I've coached for 16 years, 17 years. Okay. Played for 30. Okay. It's interesting. Okay. It's taking a turn that, one anonymous players had an agenda. All right. And the agenda was well known. His agenda, he told people, was to get Fitz fired. Okay. I get it. If you feel that the coach has done you wrong or he didn't protect you, okay. Just because someone has an agenda doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Okay. So don't take it negatively. I mean, we all have an agenda in life. Okay. We do. Okay. You just may not want to call it that, but we do. And a lot of times we manipulate people and situations for our benefit. But I digress. They call it hazing. Okay. And hazing was the purpose of it initially was to endear yourself to your team. Show your team that you're one of them, that you're all in with the team. You're not bigger than anyone else. Especially in football, it's different because you get a lot of guys who are the man. And let me tell you something, when you're able to physically impose your will on people, okay, when you're physically able to do that, it's powerful. It's powerful. Okay. So you have this, and then if you watch college games, sometimes guys aren't much bigger than you. Sometimes they are. And you're like, oh, I could do that. I remember when I was at the spring game at Holy Cross. We were in a van. That's where I first met my roommate, Troy. Me, Troy, Monty and Troy from New York. Monty's from Long Island. Troy's from Queens. Hitch, he's from Methuen, Mass. And a couple other guys. It was cold that day, but for the part of the game, we're watching, and I'm like, oh, I can do that. I'm watching, it was Julio. He just graduated a year or two prior, and he'd come back and play in the alumni game. And he was quick, making moves and getting by people like, oh, I could do that. Okay. It took me a while. I think till I had some flashes of it my freshman year. Definitely flashes, but it wasn't consistent. So you want to think you're there. And I think the purpose of it initially was to say, hey, listen, we understand we're low man on the totem pole. Respect our elders. Kind of be one with the team. Because listen, if you've ever played in a football team, a baseball team, a basketball team, a hockey team, what do guys do? We ridicule each other. All right. The more you talk shit to each other, the closer you probably are. Ask me and Junior. You should actually, no, you shouldn't see our individual thread. Never mind. But the more shit you talk to each other, the closer you usually are. Okay? It got away at Northwestern. It got away from them. All right, like I didn't even mind if they taped you to a goal pole. All right, you weren't physically harmed. You weren't, you know what I mean? It's all about being humbled. It's all about making sure that your focus is team first. Like I said, I had to carry the sweaty, sticky ass, smelly shoulder pads of 3 All-Americans. All right. Well, one was an All-American. 2 were All-Americans. Jerome wasn't an All-American yet, but he was about to be my junior year. He said to carry all that shit. Carry the helmets, carry the shoulder pads after camp. Okay. in the spring, we had Case Day. We had to go drink a case. We'd go out, we'd party, and drink, and just to get you acclimated with the team. It's cool. And then here's what happened: the freshmen, we bonded together because it was we're all in this together. Me, you, we're all here. All right, we became closer as a group, as a class, which did us good going forward. But it got away at Northwestern. All right, when you have guys, they were talking about naked quarterback center exchanges, dry humping people whenever they made a mistake in practice or a game, and dry humping them in the locker room. That's gone way too far. Okay. Now, calling them out on film, calling them out, and okay, that's fine. That's that's acceptable. But to do stuff like that, I think the leadership failed Northwestern and they failed Pat Fitzgerald. Because if you see how many people came to the aid of Pat Fitzgerald, of Fitz, how many former players came and said it was exaggerated or nonsense, it's bullshit, it's all that. A lot of players. And some people are calling this sexual assault. You throw sexual anything in there, boom, red flags are raised. Head coach has to go. Okay. Whether he knew about it or not, I think he knew about the hazing and things. I don't know how much he knew about exactly what he did. I don't know if he knew how they were dry humping guys in the locker room for messing up. You effed up, so we're gonna F you up, literally. But that got out of control. And in this day and age, someone's gonna be quicker to tell. Quicker to tell. I told you, everyone wants to be a whistleblower. Everybody wants to be the attention on me. But then again, you're also a lot of soft. There are also a lot of soft players. And I'm not saying that you're soft because someone dry humped you. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, in situations where you may be reprimanded or even clowned, some people might take it personal. Okay. But again, I need to verify and let you guys know that it went too far. It went way too far. In 2023, you can't take it that far because someone will say something. And it's not the players that deal with it. It's the coaches. And in this case, it was Fitz. And people were hurt because Fitz had what everyone thought was the last All-American program. Squeaky clean program. And according to reports, he was one of the guys that he would, raise his hand over a player who screwed up, and seniors or leaders or captains or whatever knew what to do afterwards. Fitz had this squeaky clean image. Like I said, I've met him plenty of times trying to recruit a couple of our players when I was a Curie. Okay. And it hurt because of the belief that people had in them. People felt betrayed. And one thing I learned a long time ago, betrayal never comes from your enemies. Never comes from your enemies. And they trusted him. He's the guy that you would love to have your kid play for. Yeah, granted, they were 1-11 last year and they sucked. Okay. But he's also taken them to the Rose Bowl. As a player, he was a monster. And as a coach, it was just a matter of time before they got back to being a contender of going to the. I don't think college playoffs is in there. Would have been in their future. And if it was, it would have been like a one-year wonder, a one-year hit. But you look back and people are hurt because this is the guy that they said, this is Mr. Squeaky Clean. This is the guy who turned down many more millions of dollars to go to the NFL because he wanted to stay at his alma mater. He was a player there. He was an assistant there. He's the head coach there. He wanted to stay there. He loved, basically, for all intents and purposes, he had a lifetime contract as long as he wanted to stay, as long as he didn't do anything like this. And it hurt people. Hurt a lot of people because people thought, just think about when you have guys who are shady, all right, if Nick Saban got suspended for recruiting violation, would you be surprised? No. Would you be hurt? No. Urban Meyer, when he got ousted at Florida, were you hurt, surprised? No. Because you're like, this is what they're doing. This is how they're doing it. You know what to expect from people. This you didn't expect from Fitz. This is why so many people are hurt. This is why the few people, I called about 4 people yesterday, asked them to come on talk Fitz with me. And all of them, in one way or another, said no. They were just too emotionally, they had a lot of emotions regarding this. So I said, cool, no problem. I understand. He was one of the good guys. He's one of the last of the good guys. And that's why it hurt people. That's why it hurt him so bad. It still hurts people to this day. And it was a couple days ago. He got fired on Monday. And Fitz isn't going down without a fight. All right, he's hired an attorney, citing breach of contract, reputation damage. Because he was completed 2 years of his 10-year, $57 million deal. And now football won't be the same. Because here's, as wrong as it was, and I'm not saying it was right by any stretch. You don't go dry helping people. You're a man. It's embarrassing. All right, or make people have naked whatever. Some people, other people may think, all right, fine, it's just initiation and cool. And other people might not, so you have to respect that. But football will never be the same anymore. The locker rooms might be different now. They might. And I'm sad for the game that this happened. But I'm also sad for the game for where it could has a possibility of going because of this happening as well. Remember, they're going to have a monitor, an independent monitor in the locker room. So you're going to have a guy. So this is what they're going to do. They're going to have a guy in the locker room watching guys' schlongs hanging around, coming out of the shower. That's what this independent monitor was going to do. We sit in there watching guys swinging left and right, coming out of the shower. And listen, sometimes they had fights. I don't mean fist fights. Like you'd screw, boys will be boys. Snap each other with a towel, whatever. Now is that crazy? But they suspended him. Like I said, they tried to sneak it in. They said I was suspended for 2 weeks, and yeah. And the newspaper wouldn't let it go. They wouldn't let it go. And that's what Northwestern wanted. They said it was suspended for 2 weeks. He's off. He's going on vacation. He's not going to get paid while he's on vacation. Oh, crazy. He's making $5 million a year. I think he'd be all right for 2 weeks. But it's kept snowballing. And then the president had to come back out and say, hey, well, I may have I need to look at the suspension. I may have been too lenient because of all the pressure that was coming from the newspaper. That was the Daily Northwestern, I think it is, and the local outlets here. And then I'm sure you had some alums call, and then you had there's a lot of pressure put on a guy who just got his job in June. Just got appointed in June, and you get this, the winningest coach, the face of Northwestern football. So now you make a statement and say, hey, you're fired. You fired this guy. Now what you're expecting a year, 4 weeks into your gig as president. I think there will be a lot more things coming out. I think a lot more people. And I think it's time for Fitz just to take a year or two off. I wouldn't even do media. Just take a year or two off and maybe come back in the media after a year or two. And then, or go to the NFL and get an assistant's job right now. All right, go to the NFL. Trust me, you'll be buried. You'll be buried underneath what's going on with this player, that player, this head coach. It's unfortunate, but I think it's time for him to move on. If he wants to stay in coaching, like I said, NFL, he can do it for a few years, maybe get a head coaching gig. And if he wants to come back to college, maybe in like 4 or 5 years, he can come back to college. And maybe not. We'll find out if this scandal will harm him in the future. Because if he can't get another coaching job, then it harmed him. Now, if he can, it didn't. We're going to see how it plays out, but it's very emotional. Chicago was adjacent to Evanston. They even call themselves Chicago's Big Ten team. You had a guy who was squeaky clean, a kid from Carl Sandburg, all right out in Payless. His dad's a St. Rita guy, staying home, leading his team to the Rose Bowl as a player, leading his team to the Rose Bowl as a coach, more like a military-style guy, Mr. Rah-Rah himself. Is there no hope for any good thing left in this world? I'd like to say it's different. But this day, sadly, it begs to differ. Well, listen, 2 hours has come and gone. Man, what a great show. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Man, the chat was live. I want to thank all my people in there. Nomad for coming in. Junior, Vernon Fairley in the Mickey Ficky house. Cornelia Squalls in the house. Monica for tuning in. Thank you, Mommy. I appreciate it. Brandon Schutz in the Mickey Ficky house as well. Everybody who tuned in, I truly, truly appreciate it. Charles. So we're going to take a 46-hour break. On the other side of the break, we'll see you on Friday. Same bad time, same bad channel. Guys, if you're in Chicago, enjoy the weather. It's a little rainy, and that's okay. That's fine. But enjoy it and have a great day. Spend it with your loved ones. Give your loved ones a call or a text. Just let them know you care. Doesn't take more than 10 seconds. All right? So for everybody here in Sports Zone Chicago, my guy Steve for the clips, Elliot, executive producer, Clarence for our social media, my co-host in absentia, Maya Kai. Guys, have a great day. All right, and we'll see you on Friday. Your boy, the SuperBack. I'm out. Oh, and no Second City Sports today. It was just last week that they came out on Wednesday. All right, your boy, the SuperBack. I'm out.